this is going to be Lanterns Dice. So this game is a little bit older. It's not brand new. It's been out for several years at this point. I have had a chance to play it once about a year and a half ago at a game meetup. So I didn't necessarily get to look at all the components. It is definitely enjoyable enough. Now, it is 2 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes, ages 10 and up. So that's one of the reasons I haven't really opened it yet, pulled it out lately, because I play a lot of solo games here. And so this is not going to hit the table as often until game meetups really start happening again. So this is from Renegade Games, Game Studios, and Foxtrot Games. So the Lanterns Dice, Lights in the Sky. It's essentially a roll and write style dice game with a little bit of tetromino pieces as well. So let's kick into it. So Lanterns Dice. Okay, rulebook right on top, like we expect and hope to find. Nice vibrant lanterns. It's kind of almost like fireworks and lanterns and light festival going on. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward, easy to read. Talks about components, so we should be finding a score sheet, a few cards, some firework tiles, dice in the dice tray. Talks about how to score on the score sheet and how you use it. Talks about setup. Not a huge amount of pictures on these pages, but the text is large enough. It's not huge blocks of paragraphs. So it's fast read, so it doesn't feel like you're reading forever, at least without those pictures. You get gameplay, walks you through steps and how that looks on the score sheet, and the different parts of the score sheet, how they work. The tiles, how they work, end of game scoring. Talks about scoring the different boats, which is types of things on your sheet as well. And then a really good scoring example. And then of course credits on the back. And then if you want more Great Lanterns products, so basically if you want the original Lanterns game, you can go to lanternsgame.com, or of course check out the Renegade Game Studios website. I believe Foxtrot Games as well. We'll have it at their website potentially as well. But credits, game design, Chris Bryant, artwork, Beth Sobel. So now we've talked about the rulebook. Let's look at the score sheet. This is something that everyone in the game that's playing will get one of these sheets. They are only front-sided. Now, pros and cons of that. Some people would prefer it to be a whiteboard style dry erase mechanic. Some would prefer a double-sided sheet so you can play it once, flip it over, and make use of the sheet. But this is a sport guide with a decently thick quantity of pages. I would say at least 50. I don't know if that's 100 thick or not. It's hard to tell. But it gives you more than enough for a lot of games. And then if you know you're going to play a lot, you could laminate, dry erase, or make copies of it. Okay, now we got some dice. Set these aside for a little bit, looking in that view. Some cards. Okay, that was a nice little addition to this insert. Nothing over the top major. It's just simple white cardboard. But the way the cards and the dice sit in there, it has this separate piece that was put in there so you could easily lift it up if you needed to and keep those things separate. And then that is currently in its own little cardboard box. Because over here, we're going to have tetromino tiles and our dice tray that is used during the game, which is going to pull out these dice. I'll show how they work in the tray, and then we'll show off the actual dice close up in a second. So in this game, instead of rolling on a table, what you do is just roll it into the tray and let them fall down into the bottom of it. Now this is important because they basically create a sector or position at the table based on the side or corner that they're facing. So the way you set the table is, say, corner to corner, and then you end up choosing certain ones. And then they go around the table from there. It's been a while since I played, so I can't remember the exact rules on how you choose them. But yeah, they just each time you roll it into the tray, get them to lay flat, and go from there. So pretty straightforward. Instead of having to like roll them on the table, gather them back up. Tray does it for you, and that fits right in the box for you. Again, it is a simple plastic dice tray. It's not over the top out there. It's just formed so they fall down to the bottom of it. But it does its job well. Okay, let's switch over to our other view so we can really take a look at cards, tiles, and we'll show off these dice real quick. And a close-up of the tray. So the tray itself, like I said, simple plastic. Almost like they did, like same thickness style of plastic that you might expect a plastic dice, or not dice, box insert for components, but just they formed it so they fall into it. Straightforward. Of course, they're going to sit at certain angles occasionally, but you can just shake it till they fall in. Nature of that style of game. So let's take a quick look at these cards. These cards appear to be in one of those like resealable envelope style pieces of plastic that's sticky on that edge, so you could put the cards back in here if you chose to. These are mini cards, obviously quite small. So we're gonna have 3 of those and then 4 of these. So these 4 appear to be reference cards. It talks about turn sequence, features, how they work in the game, and kind of, do they talk about scoring at all? They do talk about earning certain things, but it's not necessarily full scoring. And then we have these other cards right here. One talks about shading one additional area, matching your die, shade an area of a color not shown on the die, or shade areas matching each of the 3 other die. So that kind of references back to the 4 die on here. Typically you're getting 1 die, the face that's up and showing. Each die has, looks like it has gray, blue, green, purple, red, and yellow. So all 6 sides are different. So I'd have to look up and verify if you use one of these per game or how these are used in the game. It looks like the back sides are slightly different. So shade an area matching the die diagonally across from your die, shade an area that completes a pull, shade 1 or 2 areas in a single pull containing no features. So different, I guess if there's only a couple, 1 or 2 of these used per game, it helps affect the rules and change them slightly. So it makes each of your games feel slightly different. Okay, now we get to our tiles. These are essentially tetrominoes, Tetris style ones, different shapes, X's, T's, V's, and stuff. This is also in one of those resealable envelope style pieces of plastic, so you don't have to rip it open. Now again, I'll probably try to find a Ziploc of some sort to put these in, if anything, as I find that those only work for so long, which honestly, it may not even need it in the box. As you can see, these each have point values on them, double-sided, printed with the firework artwork. Excuse me. So we got like our L's, we got you can call it a C, I guess, or whatever you want to call that shape. we have like our short T style, or the one that sticks out. L's, we've got our classic Z shape, our box. I think we already saw that. Yeah, we saw our straight. Yeah, so these are primarily, most of these are standard Tetris style shapes you're used to seeing. We got our short L or V, however you want to call that, and we've seen our X's as well. I believe that's all the shapes. I don't see any other ones at the moment. But yeah, pretty straightforward on that artwork. Pops a little bit, kind of like a firework. Pops, little pops of vibrant color across it. And then we'll take a closer look at this score pad. Again, not remembering exactly how it all works, but we'll look at it. So there are certain things about receiving gifts, and you mark that off on here. You end up filling spaces on your lanterns. Pull around here based on the color of die you end up picking or getting. And then there are certain sections you can surround, and you score based on the colors in different ways. Scorecards, tiles you get, and such. Again, I don't remember exactly how they're all placed, so I don't want to tell you anything wrong on that, but that's pretty much what this is. It's a straightforward roll and write style game for 2 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes, and it says it for ages 10 and up. And the components don't take much. Now we might as well do our shake test that you like. Everyone knows I like to do. Now this will be a perfect shake test because I am not putting any of this stuff into a Ziploc at the moment. Small enough box. If I would need a bag, it won't have a huge effect on what I do now. So, as you can see, I put it back into the box without Ziplocs or anything. So cards are loose down here, dice are loose, all this is loose. And we're just going to see how it fits like this. Or am I going to have to turn the dice tray over? Am I going to have to fit tiles under stuff? Let's see how that works. Yeah, this is already sticking up. So it's not going to be an easy put this game away every time, but that does also mean it fits tight. Do we do the shake? Do our check. And things did stay where they were supposed to. Did not get a huge amount of movement.